And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall Show. Joining us via Zoom, our buddy out on the left coast, Mr. Keith Martin, editor, publisher, publisher of Sports Car Market Magazine, our favorite magazine in the whole wide world. I've got my copy. I got my guide to Monterey when I go to Monterey next week, so I can do everything that you tell me to do.
Don't you think that's the best guide ever?
It is absolutely the best guide ever. You did a fantastic job on it, and it's only gotten better. I like the fact that you list them chronologically when you're writing about them, and then you have the nice chart that shows everything on the overlaps and things like that, so you can plan your days so much better.
That chart is one of the things that I'm proudest of all my year, because it took a way to make Monterey comprehensible.
Right. And it's hard to create an understandable chart. Those things look like they're easily done when you look at the finished product, but try to make one. They're very difficult to put everything in the right order and what goes in a column and what goes in a line and yada, 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 right?
Oh, I have a secret for you. If you want to always get along with my art department,
right,
never ask them what they think of making that chart.
Least favorite thing on their agenda, right?
Every year I get the list of contents and there's no chart on it. I said, what happened to the chart? Oh, do you want the chart this year?
Oh, we didn't realize you still wanted the chart. No, we've only been doing it for 30 years, guys. We didn't. We changed our mind. So we bring your blog to life every week. Well, we missed last week because we were out of town. But anyway, this week, your blog is What Cutoff Year on a Collector Car Tour, which is really relevant today because there's a lot of cars that fit into tours that are maybe different than the older cars, right?
Well, it's in the past, our tours were cut off at 74, and we're looking at doing a tour a couple years out from now, and we've been thinking about that. If it's 74 and back, the good thing about it is that the performance envelope of all the cars is pretty similar.
Right.
They all have kind of crappy brakes. They don't really go that fast. They have skinny tires, so you can kind of hold everybody together. If you let in cars from the 2000s and later and supercars, now you've got a totally different mindset and a totally different performance envelope.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you've got a car that'll go 200 miles an hour and a car that'll go 80 miles an hour, then you got, then that makes it difficult to keep everybody together and to give everybody an enjoyable experience to the event, right?
It's no fun to be in an older car and having all these fast cars just blowing by you like you're standing still.
It's nerve-wracking. I can only imagine being at Le Mans or Daytona when you're in the low on the totem pole class and the big hypercars are coming past you 5 times your speed. That's not that's not comfortable.
So let me tell you what I'm thinking of, Stewart, and tell me your opinion. I'm thinking of changing the cutoff date to 92 because 92 is the year of the NSX and would let a McLaren F1 in.
Sure.
And running the people out in 2 groups. Let's say we have 50 cars.
Right.
Have the guys that want to run fast and in the newer cars go first. And then half an hour later, have the older cars go as a group.
That's a great idea. I think that gives everybody a fun experience because ultimately, if it's not fun, if your nerves are shot because you're being passed, or if you just haven't enjoyed it, then you're not coming back. The whole reason you're doing it is for enjoyment, not for, there's no job. It's nothing, you're not getting paid for it. It's not racing. It's enjoyable. And if it's not enjoyable, which it wouldn't be when you got all these fast cars going past you, then I see your point. I think it's a very valid point.
Well, what you want, my rule of thumb is the comfort of the navigator determines the pace of the driver.
Right.
If the navigator is uncomfortable in any way, then you have to slow down because they have no control and you're making the day uncomfortable for them, and that's not fair.
And I would venture to guess that if you were a navigator for a rally team, then you would be a bundle of nerves every day. Those guys must take Xanax or something before they get out.
Well, it's different. What's happening now with technology, I know Tim Sutter with Classic Motorsports on his tours, they give people a Garmin that's got the route pre-programmed into it at the start of the route, at the start of the event, and then collect them all at the end of the event.
That's a great idea. I mean, how simple.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it really is, because there's nothing worse than trying to figure out something. Again, if it's not fun, what's the enjoyment? Yes, you want to make turns, and yes, you want to go on covered bridges, and you want to do all that stuff, but you certainly don't want to be lost and, go in the wrong direction and, hold everybody up and everybody's waiting for you for lunch and all of that.
That's very well said, and we've all been in all those positions. And which you need a good route book as a point of reference with odometer readings in the book and so forth. But I have found in a couple of tours I've gone on recently where they've had a GPS, it's really quite wonderful.
Right. Yeah. You can concentrate on driving and enjoying and seeing the scenery. I mean, that's the navigator shouldn't be relegated to this the whole time.
No, that's right. And it's important, as you said, it's important to remember this is supposed to be fun.
Right. Exactly. So you've done, how many rallies have you all done in the past? You've done 4 or 5 of them, haven't you?
We've done 4 SCM 1000s.
Right.
And we thought we'd take a break after the last one. And this is a top secret. So if I say it to you, nobody else will hear, right?
Yeah, of course not. It's our little old show. Nobody's paying attention.
So my editor-in-chief, Jeff Sabatini, said to me, no more rallies ever. No more rallies ever. And I said, okay. He said, of course, we do have a 40th anniversary coming up in 2028. To me, that was like permission. It's like when your wife says that's a pretty car, that means you can buy it.
That means you're okay to buy it. And it's important for those guys for you not to come in and say, iron fist, we're going to do this because we've always done it. No, you got to let your guys, ebb and flow and feel like they're participating and that they have a say in what goes on. And then they tell you there's a reason they don't want to do it. There's a good reason they don't want to do it.
Yeah, I will tell you, doing a 5 or 6 day rally for 50 cars, which is 100 people, the overall cost of that, by the time all the dust settled, was $400,000.
Yeah, unbelievable, and it's a lot of work.
Hotel meals are $100 a piece.
Yeah,
when you're banquet rooms are $300 to $500 a piece. I mean, it just becomes a lot of work, and so we really, if we do a 2028 SCM 40. We've really got our thinking caps on how to reduce the costs,
right.
Increase the fun factor. I'm thinking of adding an extra day as a day off where people could either go driving or they could do golf, whitewater rafting, fly fishing, just something for the fun factor.
Right, exactly. You got to leave a little time in there for something other than just driving. If you're just driving for 12 hours a day every day and through the rain and the sleet and the snow and whatever, at some point in time, you're going to say, I've had about enough of that.
You say to yourself, I'm paying for this.
Yeah. Well, you could also, you could dumb down the menus and take them to Applebee's and save you some money there.
Lunch on your own at McDonald's.
Exactly. It's funny that these events, they just keep trying to outdo each other, and they become more expensive hotels, more expensive meals, better wines, the whole 9 yards. Before you know it, like you said, it's $400,000 to put on an event like this.
Well, California Millet is now $15,000 as an entry fee.
Wow. How many cars? How many cars?
Maybe 60.
Yeah.
Now think about it. If that's $15,000, you haven't shipped your car yet.
Right.
You haven't flown out yet and back.
Right.
So you're talking $20,000 before you turn a wheel.
And then you got shopping. You're going to do some shopping. So there's another.
And then maybe buy a car.
Yeah. Of course you're going to buy a car, right?
I'm really working hard on this concept on 2028 to try to figure out how to keep the costs down and the pleasure up, because I don't want it to be a Rolex lunch every day.
Right. Exactly.
Because at the end of it, when I used to do the California Millet, it was all about the driving.
Right.
Ultimately. And I'm just trying to find the balance where it's affordable, but the fun factor is high.
Right. Well, and I think if you do that where it doesn't have to be, nobody eats 5-star meals, 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. It's not realistic to have people do that, even though that's what they end up doing. And I think it's wasteful. I think that you could better plan a picnic type lunch or something for the participants every couple of days and not make it so over the top every meal and not have to outdo each meal.
What do you think about this? Like, part of the big expense is when you do a big fancy breakfast every day.
Right.
Because it's $50 to $100 a plate. And I'm wondering if we just don't tell people this is coffee and croissants breakfast and get in your car and go.
And let's go. Yeah. And we'll get a good lunch. We'll get somewhere and get a good lunch. And here, and maybe you do that and you give them a little bag of something, some granola bars or something to kind of tide them over as they go. But don't make it such a big deal, because think about it. If you're gone, how many days is your rally? 5 days?
5 to 6 days, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 6 breakfasts times $100 or times, let's say $50 a person, and times, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, and you have to ask yourself, because it's not going to be a gourmet meal.
Right.
So what you're paying for is the transportation and the setup.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I think that you can overthink these things, and I think that sounds like a much better plan, and it can save you probably thousands of dollars, and it won't change anything because most people don't even eat breakfast anyway. They grab a cup of coffee and go.
Well, a friend of mine said the problem he has with tours is he always gains weight on them.
Right, exactly. So don't bring the baby bird Thunderbird because you'll never get in and out of it, right?
That's right. What do you think of the concept of a day off?
I think a day off is great, and I think it shouldn't be at the end. I think it should be in the middle. I think you should
I
do
agree with that.
2 days and then a day off and then 3 days or whatever it is. So,
yeah.
All right, so we've solved all the rally problems in the world. Thank you. You're welcome to all the rally people in the world that we've just helped you.
Just send your money to Stewart.
Yeah, just send it to me, and I'll send you half. So we'll cover you. Keith Martin, everybody from Sports Car Market Magazine, thanks so much for joining us, and we will catch you 2 weeks from today because we're going to be in Monterey next week. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, take care.
See ya.
Here's a special offer from Sports Car Market Magazine. Get a 6-month subscription for just $19.95 by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and the number 6. That's sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. If you're a buyer, a seller, or just general classic car enthusiast, publisher Keith Martin says,
we've been around almost 40 years. It's the Wall Street Journal of the collector car world.
activate your 6-month trial of Sports Car Market Magazine by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. Offers for a limited time. Be in the know with Sports Car Market.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden. Available on classicautomall.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.